pleasant good evening from the Gem State, where we bring you a key decider in Group 1 of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Sacramento looking to book a berth in the knockout stage for the second straight year as their hosts, AC Boise, look to play spoiler here. Tonight's match is presented by St. Alphonsus, founding partner of AC Boise. And here we are looking at the Group 1 table alongside Eric Dobransky. I'm Sam Goldfarb. Right now, AC Boise out of group contention after Spokane's win earlier today, but Sacramento, a single point gets the job done and progresses them as Group 1 victors. It is a Boise side fresh off of a hard-fought defeat against Spokane, and that's dampened their efforts of progressing.
And it was a match that was back and forth, but was defined in a 6-minute span. 3 goals in that spell. Miller and Lewis with the goals for Spokane in the 71st and 75th to make it 2-0. Then Boise pull one back with the service that ends with the own goal from Sean Lewis in the 76th in a match that has become the fine margin that has defined USL Cup.
And their player to watch tonight, Nick Moon, is someone with a vast degree of USL Championship experience.
Yeah, relentless engine and two-way impact that we push to make some tough decisions throughout this match. Release, join the attack, or also when to settle in and defend and help Sacramento, or help his team deal with Sacramento in the wide areas.
On the other end of things for Sacramento, they had to come back and win on penalties to make it 8 points from the available time.
A gritty performance from Sacramento. Saw them reduce to 10 players early with the red card to Timmer, concede less than 10 minutes into the second half, fight their way back in, earn a penalty, converts there. Benitez pushes this to penalty kicks, and then Vidiello, such a presence, obviously poorly taken penalty there, but the save that ends up being the defining moment, and they pick up the additional point.
It is a Sacramento side that has struggled to score at a high clip, but Mark Anthony Kay, a pair of assists in the victory over Rhode Island Wednesday.
Immense impact in every phase. Tonight he's going to need to be comfortable being uncomfortable with AC Boise's press. He's going to have to be on the ball in some challenging areas.
Well, we are just about ready to get everything underway on the final day of USL Cup group stage action. Sacramento looking to book its ticket to the knockout stage. Boise hoping to play spoiler. When we return, lineups and kickoff from Boise.
You want more than care. You want a partner who hears you. Bring it. At St. Alphonsus, we listen to your story, your concerns, what makes you, you. We connect the dots, catch what matters early. Not just today, but for the long haul. Checkups are just the start. We're here for every chapter. So, bring it.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became America's best-selling trucks. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years and counting. And Ford, the most awarded brand for initial quality among trucks by J.D. Power. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
KTVB Plus, streaming live local radar 24/7. Watch as the storm rolls in and check the forecast whenever you want. Stream now and watch for free. Live radar 24/7, only on KTVB Plus.
Hey buddy, why aren't we catching anything? I bet they're deeper down. Mom?
Unexpected plumbing issues? Diamond can help with prompt, reliable, high-quality service. Call the amazing team at Diamond Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. From leaky faucets and broken pipes to water heaters and softeners, Diamond's 5-star heroes can help. Diamond.
Your home's best friend.
Prinx Tires is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Built for practical performance and the long haul, Prinx delivers reliability for everyday drivers like you. Visit PrinxTireUSA.com to learn more. We welcome you back to Athletic Club Boise Soccer Stadium alongside Eric Zabransky. I'm Sam Goldfarb. Tonight's walkout is sponsored by the Idaho Ford Dealers, the official auto partner of Athletic Club Boise. It is Boise and Sacramento. Neil Collins' squad, 5 changes from the victory Wednesday night.
Tyler Wolf at left back, and the impact that he can have up and down that sideline. Teams tend to shift a lot of resources and minimizing Jack Gurr, his impact in the final third. What does that open up as the game progresses? Then no Timmer serving the red card suspension, so Essel and Desmond lead that back line for a side who have collected 2 clean sheets in the USL Cup play thus far.
It is a makeshift back line for Sacramento, but it is one that's anchored by the league's all-time clean sheet leader in USL Championship in Danny Vitiello. They take on a Boise side sporting their official alternate kits for the first time tonight, inspired by the Gem State and Rare Star Garnet, as they trot this out in mid-July. It will be Sacramento going from left to right on your screen, Boise from right to left. Lost in the shuffle of this fixture is the fact that Boise, unbeaten in their previous 2 fixtures against championship sides, they've claimed 5 points from an available 6 against USL Championship squads in this competition. We are underway. Question will be, is it Sacramento progressing, or is it Boise pulling the cup set? Eric Zabransky, should be an interesting one we have in store. Boise side that brings plenty of firepower against a really, really defensive-minded Sacramento bunch.
And a group that presents a lot of former USL Championship players, so the experience is there. It's not a side that is gonna kind of shy away from this moment. Obviously so difficult to play here, and AC Boise so good at home. They're gonna wanna be aggressive, wanna play on the front foot.
Talking to Nate Miller this week, he mentioned how they will go to win the game, even if results didn't go their way earlier today. And the result did not go the way that they were hoping for. Oakland Roots falling to Spokane Velocity, who has now moved outside striking distance for Boise. It's a team that will still throw caution to the wind and try to be the protagonists. On the other side, Neil Collins himself saying, hey, I know we only need a point, but we're coming here to win this match.
And it's so funny you bring that up, Sam, because just any way that this game was going to play out, regardless of the standings, and could turn over here.
A turnover, a chance for Boise that just goes by the wayside as the ball deflects out of play.
And regardless of how Group 1 kind of shaped out towards the end of this spell of games, you knew that these 2 teams were so ambitious and so competitive that this matchup was already circled.
Fans, it's now time for keys to the match presented by the Idaho Ford Dealers. What you got, Eric?
Yeah, for AC Boise, control the second phase. If you want to be aggressive and you want to put Sacramento Republic on the back foot, you got to control after that first contact. And then for Sacramento Republic, score first. It's a hostile environment. You know that this crowd, this community, this team going to be flying to go after a result. So can you kind of dampen the mood a bit, score first, make sure that you're then controlling some of the temperature of this match and how it's played out.
There's a player down on the pitch for Boise. It's a concerning sight early on. Appears to be Dennis Kostashin, and he's the last player you want to see down if you're Nate Miller. Fans, it's now time for tonight's injury report, which is brought to you by St. Alphonsus. 3 players out for Boise. The big blow, Jared Mazzola, injured in training this week, so Jonathan Cleaver returns between the sticks. Nobody officially reported for Sacramento, but as you mentioned, Timmer is out due to that red card suspension. So get your first look at Neil Collins, something of a USL Championship legend, plenty of time with Tampa Bay Rowdies, where he guided them regularly in Eastern Conference Championship contention, then took the Sacramento job before last season and guided them to a 2nd place finish in the West. This year, the attacking output not necessarily there just yet, but the defensive solidity remains a constant, and that is a theme with any Neil Collins squad.
Well, that goes back to the AC Boise trying to control that second phase. This is such a disciplined Sacramento Republic side that you've got to find ways to move them. You've got to find ways to pull them out of position, because when they're in their structure, they are incredibly difficult to break down. And that's where the pressing, and we've talked to Nate Miller about the pressing and the defensive structure that turns into some of the loudest offensive output, and it's the proximity. And if you can get that proximity right, control the territory, you're going to benefit in a lot of various situations in a lot of different areas of the field.
Prolonged spell of possession for Sacramento is snuffed out by Jake Dengler, one of the high-profile additions on the back line this season for Boise. This is a team that has invested heavily in its personnel. We've spoken about the bevy of former championship guys that played under Nate Miller at San Diego Loyal, but on top of that, league fixtures like Jake Dengler, Jake Krull, also joining the fold. This is a team that on paper is one of the most talented in League One, as Moshe Bond gives this away. Now Edwards nearly fell for Willie. Instead, it's broken up well as Moshe Bond looks to play out of trouble. Overhits it for Thomas Among.
And when you have that playing identity Nate Miller presents with his group, that pressing, but also their value of the ball, it takes time to come together. It takes a lot of trust, a lot of reps, a lot of continuity and sustainability. Obviously, we saw the injury report. Every team's going to kind of go through the ebbs and flows of the availability.
There's Gasso. For Moshe Bond, and instead gives it right back to Desmond.
And for them, it's just weekly fine-tuning. And this is where, as this season progresses, with matches like this, I mean, obviously Nate Miller brought up how challenging this match was going to be and what it did present to the group and the opportunity. They're going to get better from it, and I'd love to see where they are in another 5 to 6 matches as USL League One season continues.
The way he coaches and puts his team out on the pitch is a scenario that sets his team up to be the protagonist regardless of league divides. And when you talk about the gap between Championship and League One, a lot of coaches in League One talk about it in air quotes. I think it's most applicable with Nate Miller because his squad is unintimidated regardless of the personnel on the pitch. That's not to say he doesn't respect the players he's going up against, but it is to say that he will not compromise his approach for any opponent.
Not at all, but also realize that they have to be sharp in some of the loud moments that showcase themselves in a match, and taking your chances. Obviously, you talk to a lot of coaches throughout both these leagues. You gotta take your chances and be composed in those moments.
Moon, Mong. Looking back for Moon, who's through on goal and finishes. Boise strikes first, and Nick Moon on the score sheet.
And there just has to be such appreciation as you see the crowd here of the movement and the recognition, but then you add the execution to the movement. Some of it subtle, some of it extremely loud. Long drifts out to that wide space, gets on the ball and vacates that area for Nick Moon to just explode into, and then the ability to turn and play that ball with the right weight. Just clinical in that pass, and then finish, such composure.
Well, fans, that AC Boise goal is brought to you by Restore Hyper Wellness. It is Nick Moon, the 30-year-old, after 6 seasons in USL Championship, making the move to reunite with Nate Miller in USL League One. And what a season he's enjoyed. 5 league goals to his name, now on the score sheet in the Prinx Cup. We spoke to Nate Miller before the match, and he said the biggest key is making sure we do score first. Otherwise, it effectively rules out the chance of winning outright in the opening 90 minutes. Now, he came into this match expecting to be playing for potentially the group title. That obviously is no longer on the table with Spokane winning, but the same game model applies, and it is all going according to script thus far.
Well, and with a competitive and ambitious group like this, why not be 3 unbeaten against USL Championship sides when you bring him here. What a start for this side. Obviously completely negates my keys to the game for Sacramento Republic in regards to scoring first, because now they're the ones that are having to come from behind, which they have done, and the experience they're settling in, they're on the road. Obviously the environment and the community and the support that you get here is something to adjust to, and something that you also see at Sacramento Republic when teams go visit them.
Gasso looks forward for Kostashin. Vidiello instead wins this foot race. Keep in mind, the Sacramento team entering the night had only conceded 13 league goals all year. And when you look at the Prinx Tires USL Cup table, only 1 goal allowed in this entire tournament through the first 3 games. So that's a monumental achievement for Boise, and now hoping to build on that. As you alluded to, partner, 5 points from an available 6 against the other 2 championship opponents that they faced in this group in Monterey Bay and, of course, Las Vegas Lights.
You had mentioned both these coaches coming in with the approach, regardless of what the scenarios were, come out to win the game, because then you don't leave any, it's just clear. The picture is clear for the team, for both sides. You're going out to pick up all 3 points. And for Neil Collins' group, I mean, with the result earlier in the day, Spokane taking 3 points against Oakland Roots, obviously 3 points still sees you top the group, but you knew that this was going to be an inherent challenge. Not only are you on the road, but you're on the road to a team that is just built different and, you know, built to sustain difficult spells, to absorb some difficult spells.
Here's Gurr. Loses his footing this time, but it was won cleanly according to our referee. Kostashin is the headliner on any opposition scouting report. It's given away this time to Mark Anthony Kay, a longtime MLS veteran who made the move to championship this offseason. Punched along towards Mayo Malongo. Guerrero there to intervene. Okay, this time given away. This is Among. It is sent clattering to the deck, and the referee blows the whistle. Well, fans, enter the Prinx Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on screen and enter today. I welcome you to Boise, Idaho, alongside the coach Eric Dobransky, Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action. Right now, AC Boise with a 1-0 advantage, courtesy of Nick Moon's 7th-minute opener. Came against the grain, with Sacramento enjoying a prolonged period of possession before that. And even though their odds of progressing are quite low at the moment, they are playing like a team that is competing for its life in the competition.
Well, they definitely got the start that they were looking for, scoring early, and it gives you the opportunity to stack plays, and we've already seen this man be an early handful for Sacramento Republic, and you gotta hope he's okay. Obviously driving in pain now, and we just saw him down a few moments ago, but he was the one that drifted out wide, got on the ball in that moment where Nick Moon could split the defense and go central. See him get clipped on that turn.
Fans, that replay was brought to you by Banner Bank. Thomas Among is a physical presence up front, but also very cerebral. He's kind of the full package, and someone Nate Miller very familiar with from his time in USL Championship. the goals haven't exactly flowed for him this year. Just a pair of goals in all comps. But talking to Nate Miller, he says, I give players I trust like Thomas Among a long leash. And I trust that as the season wears on, that sort of thing will balance itself out. And he's just hoping that he can get some reward for that decision on the score sheet sooner rather than later. When you watch him play, he still does all the right things. He's a player that pops beyond the stat sheet. Longo loses out here to Jonathan Ricketts. Here's Kostishin.
Well, and to add to that thought about Thomas Among, it's the relentless work rate that he's justifying that right now. I mean, you drop it into space, you're getting on the ball, you're allowing some of that higher space to become available for Moshaban, for Kostishin. And you're doing that for your teammates. That's important.
Tassel lost out briefly, and now Mayaka looks long for Kostishin. Just overcooked it. How about the atmosphere in Boise tonight? It is a purple out in honor of the new alternate kits for AC Boise, and the fans showing up in full force again. They've already broken the League One attendance record, then broke their own record, and it just seems like with each passing week, this stadium grows more and more packed, which seems impossible given that they already broke the record in their home opener in early April.
It does, and it's such a raucous environment, and it was going to be that way even if this game sat at 0-0 for a bit, and now you've just kind of opened it up even more with scoring in the 7th minute. Exactly what this crowd came out to see, and they're going to want to see a solid performance and a lot of excitement back and forth in both boxes from AC Boise, regardless of Group 1 standings.
So far, it's been one to inspire confidence. Starting to possess it more and build through the lines. Neil Collins' men have been reeling since the goal. Here's Malungo, former League One standout with Chattanooga Red Wolves. Now Rodriguez picks out Malungo again in plenty of space, with numbers as well. Cuts it inside for Kyle Edwards, and it slips in. And it's actually saved by Cleaver, who manages to cover it up. It looked like it had slid in, and instead Cleaver makes himself an obstacle.
And what a turn there from Edwards, just battling through. But it doesn't look like he gets the proper connection on that final action. Obviously, credit Cleaver for making the save and fighting through the traffic and maybe making sure that he picks it up all the way. But right here, defender takes him off his balance just enough that he can't gain full contact. He squeezes the space from AC Boise defensively. Really didn't have much of another angle. He could have smashed it up above.
Great save there from Cleaver. Nate Miller says that he is a goalkeeper with MLS-level shot-stopping ability. The concern is the ability to play with his feet. As Nate Miller asks his goalkeepers to be more involved in the build-up as an extra outfield player. This is Willie for Sacramento. Malungo started that move moments ago for Republic. Chrysostamo. Let's let it run. Steve rolls right to Jake Krull.
Just too far for Thomas Among, and you saw him pull out of the run, and you just hope from some of the knocks that he's taken early in this first half that he'll continue to mount. But we have seen a spell here in the last 5 to 7 minutes where Sacramento Republic has done a great job of doing this, breaking that first line of pressure, been a lot more comfortable.
Okay. Chrysostamo. Tampa Bay Rowdy standout. United with Neil Collins this offseason. Edwards, first time ball, Memo Rodriguez just ran out of real estate. Felt kindly for Wolf, whose effort was blocked away at the source.
Those are two plays defensively in their own 18-yard box that had to be made. Obviously the save on Kyle Edwards' opportunity, but right there, when you get some link-up play there, it's not the first action that will immediately pay dividends. It's that second and third that get you back in the play defensively, and that's what we've seen from AC Boise for Sacramento Republic. Can they find that final moment that breaks them down? Kyle Edwards had it, just didn't get the strike. And now with some of the link-up play that we've seen from Sacramento Republic the last few minutes, they're just looking for that collective moment.
Kostashin, Among, looking wide, and he picks out Jonathan Ricketts in acres of space. Numbers streaming forward in support. Mayaka. Cruel. If he didn't know better, if the run of play, you would fancy AC Boise to look the part of a championship club. Okay, Edwards turns through traffic, just beyond Mael Malongo.
Saw that run from Jack Gurr. Edwards just releasing a bit too early, got excited from that run he saw along the left side, and then just not see Jack Gurr entering the picture.
Fans turn to CBS on Saturday, July 18th for a USL Championship Eastern Conference showdown. Last season's champion Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC goes head-to-head with the 2025 Player Shield winner Louisville City FC in a must-watch match of the summer. Two elite clubs, one massive stage. Don't miss a minute of the action on CBS at noon Eastern on July 18th. All part of the expanding platform of the USL Championship and USL League One, and that is a big one that you should circle on your calendar for a week's time.
Two teams vying for a top four in the Eastern Conference, and obviously two teams that are always vying for a championship.
Louisville right now locked in a barn burner in the Prinx Tigers USL Cup as we speak. It's 4-2 to Lou City. Come from behind in that one as well after Lexington's gone down a man. Jensen Wilson, the standout. I feel like saying Jensen Wilson is the standout in a Lou City match is the equivalent of saying that you find a fork in the kitchen.
Consistency is something that, well, consistency at that level and that quality, so hard to defend. I mean, because you think you have a player bottled up, and this goes for a number of players that are on the field right now. Obviously, the run from Nick Moon and the pass, and the combination in that lead up was so well constructed from AC Boise. It's just so hard to defend on a consistent basis, trying to find that sustainability. Even in league play, Sacramento Republic, same as AC Boise, I think they're just starting to stack some of those performances and gain a lot of traction in not only USL Cup, but in the points that are accumulating in league play.
Strong performance Wednesday night. First time they've scored multiple goals in a league match since May 2nd. Neil Collins has mentioned that he feels that the conversation about the attacking struggles, a team that's managed the joint third least goals in USL Championship, is a little overblown. Says they're creating the chances, obviously underperforming their XG by a significant margin. believes that as the season wears on, they will become a far more dangerous team. Longo is someone who can provide some of that danger, and he does win a corner for Sacramento.
Longo, a player that we have not mentioned a lot in this first half, and he's going to want to see an uptick in his involvement. Picks up on the ball, drive at defenders. See what Memo Rodriguez cooks up here on this corner.
Long-time MLS man, Memo Rodriguez. It's an in-swinging ball that was punched away by Cleaver. And as far as Jack Gurr, the multi-time All-League selection at right back. Thomas Among overzealous in his attempts to win that back.
I know it's frustrating to concede defensive free kick right there, but the work that Thomas Among is putting in, I'll take that, because he's just looking to turn Memo Rodriguez over there and go back to the pass that he made to Nick Moon, running into that space, and just exquisite. So, Sacramento public player down. Memo Rodriguez, who just delivered that corner.
Someone who made 201 career MLS appearances with 4 different organizations. He's best known for his time with Houston Dynamo, his boyhood club, where he spent 5 years from 2017 to 2022, and since then has bounced around the league. Now in year 12 as a pro footballer, and his first championship campaign in quite some time. As you get your look at the River Guard out in full force to support AC Boise, they're a big part of the reason why this club is such a tremendous outfit. And this look at the crowd gives us a chance to let you know that soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Set piece here for Republic as they look to claw their way back into this. Taken short, Malongo floats it into the mix. He's all the way through to Moon, the lone goal scored to date. He loses out to Willie. Mong wins the free kick for Boise after animated encouragement from Nate Miller, and a yellow card is also brandished for the first time tonight.
He has been all over the field already. Ground coverage has been tremendous. Physicality in which he plays, draws this foul and the early yellow.
Number 18,
Mark Anthony Kay.
So the 31-year-old booked is the first man in the book for either side. Well, fans, that yellow card was presented by Diamond Heating and Cooling. So get your first proper glance at Nate Miller. Obviously, he's known as a bit of a tactician, to say the least. His time at San Diego Loyal, the best example during that 2023 season, guided them into the playoffs as the 3 seed. Season on staff with Real Salt Lake, and now finally back in the USL ranks with AC Boise in their inaugural season. He's talked about what building this means to the city. I was really impressed by how ambitious the club was, going out of their way to try to bring him into the fold, someone with his level of experience when they announced themselves as a club back a couple years ago. He's been motivated to build a product that this budding fan base can be proud of, and I think through the first half of the season there is real consensus that he has accomplished that. A team that sits 5th in League One, comfortably inside the playoff places as we currently speak, and even though advancing in the Prinx Tires USL Cup looks to be a bleak proposition at the moment, they've been the better of the two sides through half an hour.
He's talked about the overall development, whether it's individually or a collective group, and right player, right coach, right time. I think when it comes to the community and this organization, he was absolutely the right coach for this opportunity. Kind of at so many different levels and really values the human side of it. What a ball here.
Kostashin knocks it forward to Moshaban, who has runners with him. Low cross in, that's cut out by Desmond. Comes back to Tumi Moshaban. Many players to reunite with Nate Miller after his stint under him at San Diego Loyal. There's another one of those former Loyal players in Moon who gives it away.
Whenever you have a new project like this and you can bring in players that are familiar with you and your style of play, it just accelerates the process because you have that trust already. You've already gone through some of the ups and downs that seasons present them within, and another good ball.
Wolf, he crosses it in, and Jake Dengler first to it.
And that is two big defensive interventions. I mean, first from Desmond, and then Dengler there. Masterclass in center back defending and taking the space, but also to kind of make that contact.
Jack Gurr is on the deck briefly. He is again, and wins a throw. Someone that Neil Collins has mentioned, opposing teams have focused on keying in on and trying to take his influence out of the match. You think perhaps that's why they're starting Tyler Wolf on the opposite flank?
Yeah, you have a naturally aggressive and attack-minded player and somebody that can see space in front of him, take that space at the right moment, kind of involve himself at the exact time, those late arrivals. That quality in the attack.
Kay dances inside and has a pop. Did not miss that by much. Well, that takes us into our first half hydration break. It is a warm one in Boise, Idaho, and this was nearly a sizzler.
Yeah, you see Cleaver kind of step over to the right side and just kind of takes a glance at this, and the point you just made, not far off for Mark Anthony Kay, who just a few moments ago picked up first yellow of the game, but that's the involvement you want to see from him in the final third. It's that man, Nick Moon, that has the difference right now.
Well, 30 minutes gone, and it is 1-0 to AC Boise. On this warm night in Boise, Idaho, the lone goal from Nick Moon, and it came 7 minutes in.
And this is the subtle but loud movement that you get from this AC Boise side. Moshaban drifting out to that wide area. Nick Moon able to take that vacated space. And then Thomas Among, that exquisite ball into the running lane of Nick Moon, and Nick Moon takes care of the rest. And there was still a lot to do to beat a legendary goalkeeper, the stature of Danny Vitiello, and he settled himself down and tucked that one away.
Vitiello has been beaten with the only real shot he's faced tonight. Someone, of course, who's very accomplished, the all-time league leader in USL Championship in clean sheets. Fans are enjoying what they're seeing so far. As we mentioned, it is scorching hot out, 97 degrees at this current moment in Boise, Idaho at 8 p.m. local time. And the fans are undeterred by this. Still out, braving the heat, and they've been rewarded with a good performance thus far.
Well, and to kind of pull back and finish my thought on Nate Miller and this opportunity, this organization, this team, is the style of play. I mean, you already have a community that was bought in, and this is where this organization started, was with this community, and you add a style of football that Nate Miller brings in to AC Boise, the pressing, and then not just pressing to get on the ball, but pressing to get on the ball to play forward immediately. And the proximity that you play within, I mean, it is excitement in both boxes, and that's where talked about the consistency and the sustainability earlier on in this first half. That's where this team continues to click at different levels, and it's exciting for not only this team, Nate Miller and his group, but this fan base.
And there is your look at the goal scorer. It's a veteran presence in this squad. It's a nice blend of established former USL Championship standouts and younger guys. And when you look at how it's all gelled together, you mentioned it earlier, in any inaugural season, it is going to take time for a perfect final product to materialize. And Nate Miller himself is still learning the best approach to home fixtures versus away. He said to us that at home, yes, we're going to play my classic expansive style. We're going to be free-flowing. Away from home, though, with different playing surfaces and playing dimensions, they've had to adjust. And last week against Westchester, in that 1-0 victory, playing a more pragmatic, defense-oriented approach in which they didn't press as high and they didn't play as expansive, and yet they were able to get a result. And that's something that they've kind of been dealt their lumps on the road and learned from. And you're starting to see results string together for this Boise bunch.
And he also made the point that young players develop when they have older brothers, and that's the mix of this group. Is they have experienced players that have been at various levels, obviously the USL Championship level, and they have some young and up-and-coming players that are just starting to kind of make an imprint in their career, what it is to be a pro and compete day in, day out, not just in matches, but at training.
Malongo. Rodriguez. There's Crisostomo. 29-year-old who makes everything tick in midfield. Malongo gets it back, plays it across to Willie, who forces a strong save out of Cleaver. Strong performance here from the 24-year-old thus far.
And you make a great point, because Crisostomo has really, his involvement has then guided the uptick in some of these offensive plays in the attacking 18-yard box as Cleaver gets up, parries that ball over the crossbar. Still got to deal with this defensive corner, but good reactionary save.
Willie, 19-year-old, floated back in by Gurr. And that is far too tight on Cleaver. Kostishin loses his footing on the near side. The referee's unmoved. Rodriguez. More conversation points about the effectiveness of the goalkeeping position for Boise early in the year. Keep in mind, this is a squad that has committed the joint third most errors, leading directly to a goal in USL League One, with 3 this season, and a good chunk of those have come from their goalkeepers. Joseph Andema had some early season struggles, so they pivoted to Cleaver in mid-April, who has made the position his own, and despite some bumps and bruises, has flashed why he is the trusted option for Nate Miller. And here tonight especially, 2 massive saves, including the one moments ago.
And it's that composure that he showcases in that ability to make massive saves, because there's no panic.
It's another St. Alphonsus free kick for AC Boise.
Frenetic characteristics that kind of add to kind of the chaos in the box. Just composed, calm, gets his positioning right.
Ricketts. Mo Shaban, referee plays advantage.
Jonathan Ricketts, a former Sacramento Republic player. The previous season with Miami FC, but has that familiarity with the opposing club tonight.
Never played under Neil Collins, though. Collins, of course, took over ahead of last year. That was the season where Ricketts played in Miami. Still a veteran of the championship, someone who made 158 career combined appearances so far across championship and League One.
And that becomes that cat and mouse game that you see on both sides, and those wide areas for Jack Gurr, that ability and that freedom to release and get himself in the attacking third, and then that balance for Tyler Wolf as well when he can join, and but when he has to sit back and defend, because Jonathan Ricketts is that kind of presence, can climb the field in the right time, and then he does have that quality delivery.
tick closer and closer to intermission in this finale in Group 1 of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. We see Boise, a 1-0 lead over Sacramento Republic, a side that needs a single point to win the group. Otherwise, they're at the mercy of the wild card. And with the way things have shaped out, there's only one wild card. And with Miami FC winning tonight, I believe a defeat would not be enough for Sacramento. So it is result or bust at this stage for the visitors here. Just wonder when Neil Collins' men will come further out of their shell. Mayaka. Plenty of green grass to roam into, and he takes his space and now slides it through to Jonathan Ricketts, who just lost his footing. Glaring chance to make it two.
So much of Jonathan Ricketts' involvement has been in that wide area, getting on the ball and then serving. But that run outside in, timing was spot on, just lost the footing. And I would dare to say, as we approach the 40th minute, that you're going to see kind of an uptick in pressure from Sacramento Republic, because can they draw level before the break and leave themselves 45 minutes to go after this game, because they have limited AC Boise in the attack. Obviously, we just saw that run from Jonathan Ricketts. We've kind of seen hints of an attack from AC Boise. It's still only the one shot and the one shot on target, which was the goal. So Sacramento Republic has settled in. They have protected their 18-yard box extremely well. Now, can they find the breakthrough in the attacking box? Becomes the question.
Chrysostomo. Essel, on loan from St. Johnstone in Scottish football. Durr, Wolf, both of them now playing on the same flank. Durr again, 30-year-old who's been all league the last 3 seasons in USL Championship. Wolf, it's ushered wide. Krul makes himself an obstacle, and this is Among. Just ran out of real estate. Chrysostomo, Malongo, who's offside. Kostashin. Lost that tussle with Essel. Fan Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Kerr looks to switch the play for Malongo and does so. Malongo draws 2 defenders, goes to the byline. Cross ricochets through, winds up at Dangler's feet. Chrysostomo again. K. Just no way through for Republic FC at the moment. Indomitable club, as things stand, at risk of going out of the competition before the knockout stage. A side that reached the final of the USL Cup a season ago before falling to Hartford on home soil.
Seen a change. Seen Tyler Wolf kind of join this front line along this right side, and Mark Anthony Kay has almost dropped into that left back position.
Kostashin looks like he keeps this in play. The referee waves play on. Now he loses out cleanly, according to Brandon Stevis. Okay. Malongo. It's year 2 for Mile Malongo in USL Championship. Last season at Monterey Bay after a 2-year spell with Chattanooga Red Wolves. He was a dynamic goal scorer. There's Gerb, who's looking for Malongo again. Ball does reach him. Flag stays down for now. Rodriguez breaks the lines for Crisostomo. This is Malongo. No room for him to cut in just yet. Thomas Among doing his defensive duties admirably. Gerb. Wolf clips in across. Ayaka can usher out of danger.
Ladies and gentlemen, stoppage time.
Moshe Bond sprinting forward for Boise.
The fourth officials indicated there'll be a minimum of 4
Trying to go at the entire defense himself. This was a futile exercise in the end. Well, fans, the fourth official has indicated 4 minutes of Diamond Heating and Cooling stoppage time. As of now, still the hosts clinging to their 1-0 advantage, but Sacramento starting to turn the tide. K. Kostishin. Gets it back from Gasso, and he was offside in the process. It's become a game of cat and mouse this. Sacramento on the front foot.
And really for Sacramento Republic, it's about what they're doing in the final third, because they're arriving with numbers. They're doing it collectively, but now it's how do you regenerate and recirculate the ball when you've kind of discovered nothing in some of the first phase actions, and that just presents itself in any matchup. I mean, when you get to the final third, you're going to have to reapply some of those runs to move defenders, create that space, and that's where AC Boise is doing a terrific job of absorbing, but also not getting pulled out of those spots. For Sacramento Republic, obviously Tyler Wolf now joining that front line. There's just too much of that, and you have to enjoy that positive play and that brave ball, but you have to move somebody in that segment.
Right now, they've been unable to drag any of these Boise defenders out of their shape, to your point, and it's made life very difficult. In fact, I can't name a time where either Mile Malongo or Tyler Wolf has been matched up 1v1 with their opposing fullback. They're starting to play direct, and Poole lets that roll out of play.
Well, that's a great point, because that kind of lends into what makes Jack Gurr so prolific, is his ability to serve a quality ball at various levels of the field. Obviously now you see Mark Anthony Kay playing along that left side. It's kind of a left back. What kind of playmaking can you get from those wide areas that just ask different questions, whether it's an earlier service, now you've got a little bit of space behind the back line, and Cleaver, can you get a deeper service kind of towards that byline instead of going central, and now you get Kyle Edwards in a matchup where he's trying to win those aerial duels.
Malongo is likely Sacramento's final foray forward of the first half, and he bypasses his defender. Ricketts comes over to assist, and out of play for another corner. One final chance before we reach intermission. Sacramento looks to carve out a pathway back on terms. It's an in-swinger from Rodriguez. Headed away at the near post. Pinged back into the mix. Weaver stays on his line for now. There's Edwards. Moshe Bond comes over to assist. Well, there's the halftime whistle. AC Boise with a 1-0 advantage, courtesy of that man's 7th-minute opener in Nick Moon. Strong performance thus far for the hosts.
Yeah, for AC Boise, disciplined collectively. That is probably how you would define that first 45 minutes, but have not hurt themselves, and that's been important for Sacramento. Have to be pleased with how they grew into the game, but need that clear-cut opportunity.
That is where things stand at intermission. Nate Miller's men leading another championship foe. Tonight's halftime is presented by Banner Bank, and as things stand, it is a 1-0 advantage for Nick Moon and company. AC Boise with the narrow cushion at the break. Stick with us when we return a look around the USL.
Every business has a story. Maybe you're just getting started. Maybe you're expanding. Maybe you're ready for a fresh start with a bank that truly cares about your business. We're Banner Bank, and we want your business to succeed, to stay competitive, to get to the next level. And we have a long history of helping businesses just like yours. Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking.
You want more than care. You want a partner who hears you. Bring it. At St. Alphonsus, we listen to your story, your concerns, what makes you, you. We connect the dots, catch what matters early. Not just today, but for the long haul. Checkups are just the start. We're here for every chapter. So, bring it.
From the beginning, Idaho has been home. Since 1968, we've stayed true to what matters most. Hard work, local ranching, and exceptional beef. As pioneers of American Wagyu, we're involved every step of the way, from ranch to table. Unforgettable beef, done right, by people who care. Snake River Farms, proud supporters of Athletic Club Boise.
We welcome you back to the heart of Boise, where tonight's halftime is sponsored by Banner Bank. A 1-0 cushion for the home side, courtesy of Nick Moon's 7th-minute opener. And now it's time to get a look further inside the Prinx Tires USL Cup with Dan Lucas, who has more on the format.
42 clubs in the USL Championship and League One will form 7 groups filled out by region. Each club will play 4 group matches, and when the dust settles, the 7 group winners will advance along with 1 wildcard team, not 2 wildcards like last year. The remaining 8 clubs will be drawn into 4 quarterfinal matches with 1 stipulation. The wildcard cannot be drawn against its group winner. The 4 quarterfinal winners will then be drawn for the semifinal round, with the 2 finalists drawn to determine the host for the Prinx Tires USL Cup Final.
Well, fans turn to CBS on Saturday, July 18th for a USL Championship Eastern Conference showdown. Last season's champion Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC goes head-to-head with 2025 Players' Shield winner Louisville City FC in a must-watch match of the summer. 2 elite clubs, 1 massive stage. Don't miss a minute of the action on CBS at noon Eastern on July 18th. Well, at halftime here in Boise, it is still a 1-0 cushion for the home side. Nick Moon, the difference maker, through 45 minutes as the hosts look to end their Prinx Tires USL Cup campaign on a high note. When we return, a look back at how that first half unfolded here from Boise. Stick with us.
Two champions loaded with USL history. Louisville City raised last year's Players' Shield, but the Pittsburgh Riverhounds took home the USL title.
Contenders collide.
Pittsburgh Riverhounds in Louisville City, Saturday, July 18th at noon Eastern on CBS.
Prinx tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinx tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became America's best-selling trucks. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years and counting. And Ford, the most awarded brand for initial quality among trucks by J.D. Power. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
We welcome you back to the heart of Boise, where at halftime, AC Boise holds a 1-0 lead over Sacramento Republic FC. Tonight's halftime is sponsored by Banner Bank. And now it's time to get a look at our out-of-town scores in the Prinx Tires.
It is halftime in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. We hope you're enjoying the match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines. Last week in the championship, New Mexico United extended its league unbeaten streak to 5 matches with a 2-1 victory over Oakland Roots in front of more than 14,800 fans, the 4th largest crowd in franchise history. New Mexico's Christian Navas scored his first goal since the 2022 season, a remarkable comeback for a player that battled through 2 knee injuries over a 2-year period. Tonight, we close out group play in the Prinx Tires USL Cup, and 8 clubs will head to the quarterfinals. You can watch that quarterfinal draw on the USL's YouTube channel on Monday the 13th at 1:00 p.m. Eastern.
Every business has a story. Maybe you're just getting started. Maybe you're expanding. Maybe you're ready for a fresh start with a bank that truly cares about your business. We're Banner Bank, and we want your business to succeed, to stay competitive, to get to the next level. And we have a long history of helping businesses just like yours. Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking.
You want more than care. You want a partner who hears you. Bring it. At St. Alphonsus, we listen to your story, your concerns, what makes you, you. We connect the dots. Catch what matters early. Not just today, but for the long haul. Checkups are just the start. We're here for every chapter. So, bring it.
KTVB Plus, streaming live local radar 24/7. Watch as the storm rolls in and check the forecast whenever you want. Stream now and watch for free. Live Radar 24/7, only on KTVB Plus.
From the beginning, Idaho has been home. Since 1968, we've stayed true to what matters most: hard work, local ranching, and exceptional beef. As pioneers of American Wagyu, we're involved every step of the way, from ranch to table. Unforgettable beef, done right, by people who care. Snake River Farms, proud supporters of Athletic Club Boise.
Prinx Tires is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Built for practical performance and the long haul, Prinx delivers reliability for everyday drivers like you. Visit PrinxTireUSA.com to learn more. We welcome you back to the Gem State. We're at halftime. The home side, AC Boise, holds a somewhat eyebrow-raising 1-0 lead over Sacramento Republic. It has been a fun first half. Plenty left on the docket, though. And as we look back at our first half, it is now time back underway in the final half of group play in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. It's a Sacramento squad that entered the night knowing it needed a singular point to progress out of Group 1. As things stand, in line to fall short of the knockouts after reaching the final last year. So plenty to play for them. Meanwhile, Boise looking to continue their unbeaten record against USL Championship clubs. This would be a statement victory over one of the top teams in the Western Conference.
Well, you talk to coaches in both leagues and how much they thoroughly enjoy the USL Cup. I mean, the matchups, the unique matchups you get. I mean, right now we're getting a terrific matchup between Charleston Battery and Charlotte Independence. Those matchups seem to always mean something. They're battling for Group 6. But then you get a matchup with AC Boise and Sacramento Republic. It's almost like that playoff atmosphere and playoff environment, those scenarios that just don't present themselves early in the season, mid-season. You get that goal up, goal down scenario for Sacramento Republic right now, knowing that they just need the point. So how does that then change the narrative as this second half wears on? And if this scoreline holds, do you start to release some more numbers? What do you see tactically from Neil Collins' side? What do you see tactically from Nate Miller's side? And those are things that you don't necessarily always see in a regular season matchup just because of the knockout component of the USL Cup.
And keep in mind as well, for wildcard purposes, the tiebreaker is goals. Now, granted, with Miami FC winning tonight and going on to 9 points, that renders it mostly a moot point. But in a normal scenario where maybe both these teams were playing for a possible wild card, that comes into play, where things open up and there's a more attack-minded game on hand. Here so far, though, this seems to be a situation where Boise will look to protect what they have, and Sacramento will desperately look to claw at least a point from the jaws of defeat. Just about ready to resume the action. Boise will now be going from left to right on your screen. Sacramento from right to left. And back underway on this sweltering Saturday in Boise, Idaho, alongside Eric Dobransky, Sam Goldfarb here. It was a fun first half. The question is if Boise can reestablish a semblance of control after the way it ended.
And that will be the early question for Nate Miller's side. You saw the balance and the combination earlier on in that first half from AC Boise, their ability to press, but also be progressive with their outlets after regaining possession.
Kostashin is looking for Rickett with his back heel. Instead rolls all the way back to Vidiello. Didn't have much to do in that first half following the opener. It's a well-placed finish by Nick Moon to take it beyond him. Malungo shoved down by Philip Mayaka. Philip Mayaka, an interesting storyline for AC Boise. We talked to Nate Miller this week about him specifically, and he said believes in right player, right time mentality. And Mayaka was somebody who never quite caught fire in the MLS and MLS Next Pro ranks. Was a third overall pick with Colorado Rapids in 2021. So you see that cross deflected out for a corner. And ultimately, throughout his 4 years at MLS, it never quite materialized. He's a player that Nate Miller always had his eyes on and decided to bring him in. Feels it could do a lot for his career. And Philip Mayaka's come in, been this key cog in midfield, and is enjoying a bounce-back season. And it's part of the opportunity a league like League One affords players like Philip Mayaka to revitalize their careers. It's the outswinger from Rodriguez on the corner, ran all the way through to Mo Shaban. Ultimately out of danger from the 31-year-old, but only as far as Gur. Here's Rodriguez again. Wolf. From Real Salt Lake. Edwards. Dangler just bodies him off it, but then gives it away cheaply. Crisostomo. Malongo. Normalcy from the end of the first half resumes, it seems. Crisostomo. Willie. Desmond. Taking over the captain's mantle from Rodrigo Lopez after his retirement last offseason. Mayaka. Heavy pressure from Republic FC. They've come out of halftime desperate to claw an equalizer back. Put themselves back in position to progress.
This possession, early extension of the first half, but you just haven't seen that change in urgency as soon as it hits the final third.
Kostashin was seemingly fouled there. And it is a St. Alphonsus free kick.
It's another St. Alphonsus free kick for AC Boise.
What would the team talk have been if you're Neil Collins at halftime?
I think just ramp up the tempo as soon as you hit the attacking third. We mentioned recycling some of those runs and making AC Boise have to move in some of those second and third actions. But I also think some up-tempo play would aid in that. And now the positional play is there, but then what's next? Can you kind of put your foot on the gas and force AC Boise into making a challenging decision?
And ball given. And it's a St. Alphonsus free kick. That felt cheap to give away if you're Sacramento. This is definitely an inviting spot.
Well, this is exactly what scoring the first goal allows you to do. It allows you to settle in, and then you're dictating the temperature of the match in different phases of the match. When do you want to go press? When do you want to go sit in? When do you want to find that mid-block and earn some of these set pieces as the game wears on? For Sacramento Republic to make the play.
It's Dominic Gasso, the lone man over this free kick. Second would all but seal it at this point, given how stoutly Boise's defended. He's clipped in the mix towards Among, who just heads it over. First real chance Vitiello's had to deal with.
That delivery was exactly where you want to put it, and now we do see kind of an uptick in the pressure, but that's going to be because it starts on a goal kick, so you're going to find moments where you can get your numbers above that line of confrontation and put a lot of pressure on them. Sacramento Republic does a terrific job of being patient, getting themselves out.
And more Rodriguez over the top for Wolf. Does keep it in play for Republic. Crisostomo. K. Driving ahead. Memo Rodriguez on the turn. Malongo. A tremendous strike. It wound up being the match winner in the late first half Wednesday night against Rhode Island. Turns into trouble here, and he is fouled. And this is a well-positioned set piece for Sacramento.
And that's the alignment that Sacramento Republic are looking for, and that's also the threat that Mark Anthony Kay can present from that left back position. Drifts centrally, they need to account for him, and then Malongo, clever with his movement, deceptive with that release.
That replay was brought to you by Banner Bank.
There's a free kick where his team can take full advantage of putting a lot of pressure in and around Cleaver.
It's Rodriguez and Kay over it at the moment. Hard to say who exactly this favors. Rodriguez right into the wall. Now falls for Kay. And there's a player down. It's Jake Dengler, donning the captain's armband tonight for Boise.
And it's been the definition of Boise's approach tonight, just disciplined. Not been separated defensively. This wall stands firm, and obviously Dengler catches the front end of that free kick.
He's being serenaded by the crowd. You think they appreciate that display of grit from the Baltimore native?
I absolutely think so, and I think they're gonna have some other big plays as the second half wears on that Dengler's gonna be involved in, so I think that serenading is gonna be something common for them. And Dengler, a player that is getting himself back into the squad, obviously dealt with some injury early on in the season, and that's where that consistency, that continuity for AC Boise and Nate Miller's side, especially with the way that they press, you've got to be able to be ball winners along that back line. You can't release that front line and then that midfield line to go press aggressively, knowing that teams are going to deal with the verticality. They're going to play those longer passes. They're going to look to kind of release some of those runners, and you have a back line of Kroll, Dengler, Yarrow. That is quality physical presences and just decision makers back there.
He's a veteran of League One, Jake Dengler. 108 career appearances in USL League One. Last season, of course, played a key role for FC Naples in their inaugural season as part of their run to the USL League One semifinals, and makes the move to Boise. He's been an integral part as this is slipped in behind. Wolf's cross, nearly ricocheted through for Memo Rodriguez. Jake Dengler is back on the pitch. Scott Sterling did there. Given away. Moshe Bond.
That was a moment there where Thomas Among, throughout this game, has played back to goal, has had pressure on him immediately, but had the time and space to turn and run at this back line. Could have benefited from it.
Guard. Rodriguez floats it forward, but right into the gloves of Cleaver. Ward Sacramento is now readying changes. Crisostomo. Willie. Plenty of game changers on the bench for Republic FC. Kay toward the back post. It's overrun by Wolf. fans can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. As this comes in towards Mark Anthony K. Play it back over to Mael Malongo. Stood up by Ricketts. And Kostishin doing his defensive work. Sprung free toward Nick Moon, and it's tracked down by Gerd. Well, gives us a chance to let you know you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Circuitous advertisement, but we got there.
A terrific conversation with Mike Jeffries this week. Lee Viedman just recently as well from Spokane Velocity.
Okay. Lee Viedman is a great chat. As of now, his men are in line to win Group 1, so I'm sure he'll be an even more engaging chat than usual. Moon. Heard word that Kyle Edwards is set to depart for Sacramento Republic, and his replacement, unsurprisingly, Forster Jago. Before that, Gurr strolls forward for Republic FC. It's a decent cross, but it is right at Jonathan Cleaver. Well, Jago's been the go-to starter for most of the year, and so it's unsurprising they make the like-for-like change, as this is played in behind for Kostishin, who is onside, and then bundled over by Kay, who's already on a yellow card. And the referee has let it slide. And remember, no VAR in USL. So that decision is final.
Well, we talked about the benefits of on the ball for Mark Anthony Kay playing in that position, but also the bold move from Neil Collins making that transition, because you knew that he was going to have to make plays like that already on a yellow card. Going to have to make some of those defensive interventions, play shoulder to shoulder, possibly get into a tackle or two.
Okay, moments after the controversy. He's at a cross. Chrysostamo can't usher it along, but it's cleared only as far as Essel. Put a pin in that moment. I think a different referee on a different day at least brandishes a yellow, perhaps even a red for denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Ricketts, Kostishin, back for Ricketts, who continues his underlapping run, and Lee Desmond recovers well. It's just a corner. So now the changes will take place. Forster Jago for Kyle Edwards, and then Boise also making a swap. Omar Yaya is set to replace Thomas Among. They're going to hold those changes until after the corner takes place. This is the first Athletic Brewing corner kick. It's Boise's first corner of the match. Dennis Kostishin stands over it. Taken short, Gasso. Kostishin floats it into the mix to the back post, and Among just underneath it. A real chance there for Boise. In the midst of all of that, the changes will take place. So it is Forster Jago for Kyle Edwards, joining the club after multiple years under contract in MLS. And then Omar Yaya for Thomas Among. Both those changes are brought to you by Athletic Brewing, all in, all game.
For Sacramento, coming into the match, number 11, Forster Jago.
Forster Jago, someone whose quality is undeniable. Neil Collins saying the potential is through the roof for the Ghana native. Pair of goals to his name in league play, 4 across all competitions. Replaces Kyle Edwards, who had the one chance in the first half that was saved, but otherwise cut the role of a lonely man up top. Omar Yaya, a younger option, a less experienced option at Thomas Among, but has seen his minutes grow of late and did start on Sunday.
Forster Ajago, somebody that Nate Miller is very familiar with from his time at Real Salt Lake.
Would have coached him for multiple years. Yaya driving ahead. The substitute's cross is far from accurate. It is kept in play though. Mayaka working well with Mo Shaban. Gasso. Kostashin, clever touch. Here's Yaya slipping in behind. Yaya looking for an angle and muscled off it by Essel, who defended that situation well. Final 30 minutes, and for those just joining us, we have a good one brewing in Group 1 of the Prinx Tires USL Cup alongside Eric Dobransky. Sam Goldfarb here. As things stand, AC Boise, a 1-0 lead over Sacramento Republic, which would take them second in the group. Sacramento needs at least a point to progress and win the group. Yeah, in towards Mo Shaban, who finishes! Boise doubles the lead, and they may be on their way to winning it. It may just be a smash and grab in the Gem State.
And already since coming on, Omar Yaya has put himself on the ball, faced up, going at defenders, and getting to that end line. We saw him take on Essel just a few moments ago, and Essel getting the better, but he does it again. But this time he releases early, and then Oshaman finds that pocket of space, has to travel with this ball just a bit, and then just smashes it past Vidiello through traffic. This is an AC Boise side that has taken advantage and full advantage of its journeys into the attacking 18-yard box. It has paid dividends.
Well, fans, that AC Boise goal is brought to you by Restore Hyper Wellness. Tumi Mo Shaban on the score sheet. Someone who has managed 4 league goals to his name. The production has come and gone, but he is someone who's also very experienced under Nate Miller from his stints with Lansing Ignite, as well as, of course, San Diego Loyal. Last season, a little more up and down during his time in championship, made the move from El Paso to Charlotte Independence in League One, and the production never followed, but he's reunited with Nate Miller this offseason and has enjoyed a terrific campaign here in 2026.
Now let's see what we get from Sacramento Republic, because still plenty of time left, and they just need a draw. So plenty of time. You got to cut into this league. You got to find the first one, and just continue to kind of see the misfire in the final third. Good numbers here.
Kay's cross towards the back post now. Sacramento with plenty of work to do to navigate back into this. With 25 minutes to go, they need 2 goals. Otherwise, they're almost certainly crashing out of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Kay. Now the cross in from Gert. Boise is now readying a double change, and it's coming at the wing-back spots. Both Moon and Ricketts set to depart. Crisostomo. free kick, give it away.
Memo Rodriguez looked like he was going to go fast there, but just testing, see if they can get some more space. But I mean, opportunity for Sacramento Republic, settle in, get numbers in the 18-yard box, and make sure that you're extremely detailed in what you want to do and what you want to accomplish in terms of the run that go and cause havoc. But you got to put this on frame.
So now the double change takes effect for Boise. Moon and Ricketts off. Keegan Euler and Musa Enye are on. So both those changes are brought to you by Athletic Brewing, all in, all game. And at this point, Boise just looking to see it out. They do have a free kick to weather here.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming into the match from AC Boise, number 3, Keegan Euler. Coming out of the match, number 14, Nick Moon.
It's going for goal, and just wide. No real issues for Jonathan Cleaver there.
Substitution for AC Boise. Coming into the match, number 5, Musa Enye. Coming out of the match, number 2, Jonathan Ricketts.
This area, you want to at least put something on frame, force Cleaver into, and it's moving from side to side and then having to make a grab or parry a ball. Just goes back to some of the frustration that Sacramento Republic has had in the final third. But I flip it and gives a lot of credit to AC Boise and what they're doing. I mean, Dominic Gasso, Philip Mayaka, they have not necessarily been involved on the ball, but their ability to play in front of this back line, protect the box, but also be a reinforcement to that structure has been top-notch throughout this match, 70 minutes in.
If you are Sacramento, it has the feeling of a time where you have to throw the kitchen sink at it. Remember, Miami FC won today, and that still kept them, as things stand now, second in the group. Them and Tampa Bay Rowdies would both be on 9 points. That's not factoring in the Tampa Bay result, which they won. So that means Miami would be the top place, second place team on 9 points. Sacramento, if they lose, ends the night on 8. That is not enough to progress as the lone wild card. I'm not sure this is how Neil Collins would have drawn it up. There's Malongo staring down in yet. And Kostishin helping out on the defensive side. Mayaka. Mo Shaban, the most recent goal scorer, in plenty of space and blasts it forward. Now numbers here for Boise. Euler drove it goalward, but right at Vidiello. That was nearly all she wrote.
And that's some of the space that if you're patient, but also very aggressive in that outlet pass, you're gonna find some of that space that Mo Shaban was in because of some of the numbers that Sacramento Republic are gonna have to throw at you.
Sacramento now preparing a triple change. Yeah. Assisted Mo Shaban's tally. And now charging forward, cuts it back to Dennis Kostishin, just over. Boise has looked the more likely since the second. And on a different day, Kostishin takes this.
Well, Nate Miller has to be pleased with the overall work rate of the collective, but what he's also gotten out of Thomas Among when he was on, he had the assist with the opening goal. And then Omar Yaya, since coming on, I mean, he has been all over the field, just like Thomas Among. And Kostishin, as you mentioned, just putting that on frame with the power that he had behind it. To tuck that one away for the third goal. Good opportunities for AC Boise.
Triple change now for Sacramento Republic. Spalding, Casas, and Arturo Rodriguez on for Memo Rodriguez, Mark Anthony Kay, and Mayo Malongo. Those three changes brought to you by Athletic Brewing, all in, all game. It is caution to the win time. Arturo Rodriguez, a frequent starter when available, usually for Neil Collins. Not to mention the likes of Ryan Spalding, who's made himself a pretty competent left back for spells this season. He'll be deployed in a more advanced role here. Really out wide for Spalding, has Arturo Rodriguez with him. Casas. Casas goes for goal. It is right at Cleaver, though. Here's your look at Arturo Rodriguez. Best known for his time with Charleston Battery the last 3 seasons, where he was a dynamo as a number 10, 27-year-old out of Mexico. Has produced a goal and 3 assists to his name in league play. Very creative presence in place of Memo Rodriguez. Spalding, first time cross in. Dangler scuffs it. It rolled all the way across the face, and Ajago couldn't bury it. That was a golden opportunity for Sacramento.
Well, we had mentioned it for AC Boise. The opportunity that they just had a few moments ago is typically on frame and testing a goalkeeper. That right there for Forster Ajago. The run is spot on, just needs to get a touch on it.
Arturo Rodriguez over this corner for Sacramento. Right in front of the River Guard. An outswing as well. Dangler away.
That's going to be the thing for AC Boise, is how do you find that delicate balance between finding some of these attacking moments that you're going to naturally see because of the numbers and what Sacramento Republic want to throw at you, but also continuing to be secure defensively.
Spalding does keep this in play, and then he pulled up at the end of that. And that's a concerning sight for Sacramento.
Spalding had just come on from Malongo. He gets himself into that space, and you can see right there.
That replay was brought to you by Banner Bank. This is definitely a heart-in-mouth moment for Sacramento fans. Ryan Spalding, the 27-year-old, who joined last winter and has been a key fixture in the lineup ever since, has gone down with what appears to be a non-contact injury. And it also takes us into a hydration break. Take another look at the moment that has maybe provided insurance for AC Boise. What a finish here for Tumi Moshaban.
Well, and it's this man, Omar Yaya, who came on for the productive Thomas Among and does it in a way where he's driving at that byline. Even before this goal, he was asking a lot of different questions, getting to that end line, forcing them into challenging situations, and then Moshaban keeps that ball close and just unleashes one past Danny Vitiello.
Gets himself into a dangerous position. Moshaban initiating the move and benefiting at the end of it. And it is all smiles now in Boise. Fans out in full force, and it is a busy time in the USL. Gives us a chance to let you know that you can turn to CBS on Saturday, July 18th for a USL Championship Eastern Conference Showdown. Last season's champion Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC goes head-to-head with 2025 Player Shield winner Louisville City FC in a must-watch match of the summer. 2 elite clubs, 1 massive stage. Don't miss a minute of the action on CBS at noon Eastern on July 18th.
It's good to see Ryan Spalding moving. He went all 90 minutes in their midweek fixture against Rhode Island.
He's going to try to run the knockoff. For all involved, we hope he does. Well, the kids are having fun. I think the party started after the first or second goal for them.
Started before any goals were scored, I think. I mean, this is a crowd that gets behind this team, and they knew they needed to be an all-out support as they had Sacramento Republic coming into town, but they have done a fantastic job every facet of this game. love seeing the kids having fun.
I'm sure the ride home will be celebratory, assuming this result holds over the final 13 minutes and change.
The kids might be passed out on the drive home. As much fun as they've had in this matchup. And they're going to see this game out.
Or something that's less than ideal. Ryan Spalding is going off. So the substitute forced to exit early for Dominic Vonner. We send our thoughts Ryan Spalding's way, a key piece for this Sacramento squad.
Absolutely. That's something, to the point you just made, you just don't want to see it just coming on as a sub. Played a lot of minutes on midweek as these teams start to transition back into league play, make sure they're available.
That substitution was brought to you by Athletic Brewing, all in, all game. It is now Dominic Vonner, the Mainz native, into the action, joined the club after a couple years in the German 4th tier, but he's best known for his prolonged spell as a standout in Borussia Dortmund's youth ranks. Long career with the second team after ascending rapidly through the U17 and U19 squads. Chrysostomo trails this wide. Now Gurr. Cross deflected, and another corner for Sacramento.
Look at the numbers they're going to throw in here. I mean, this has got to be a big moment for Sacramento Republic. You can pull one back here. There's plenty of time to make this a chaotic finish.
Arturo Rodriguez, the architect, an outswinging ball. It falls rather kindly for Essel. It was forced wide. Out for Rodriguez. Broken up that time by Euler. Yarrow driving ahead from center back. 2 touches too many there. If you are Sacramento, and assuming this result holds, how do you process a match like this, where you came in the favorites expecting at least a point, and you may be leaving empty-handed with your cup campaign coming to a premature conclusion, I should say?
You know, I think all of these games in the USL Cup have presented lessons for both these sides, and lessons that they will undoubtedly take into league play. Obviously disappointing overall if this scoreline does hold for Sacramento Republic. They've just not been able to generate that final moment in the attacking third, and I think that's going to be where the frustration lies, albeit they did have conceded 2 goals, which is uncharacteristic for them in this USL Cup. We'll look at that as well, but some of the lack of chance creation or clear-cut chance creation is going to be at the forefront.
It's been the story for the bulk of the season for Neil Collins' men. Casas ranges into the attacking zone. It's just the 5th time across league and Prinx Cup play that Sacramento has conceded multiple goals in a match this year. I mentioned only 13 goals allowed in league play for their opening 13 league matches. Here's Moshe Bon hunting more carnage now and has runners either side. Plays it wide to Yaya, who clips it towards Dennis Kostashin. Kostashin to the byline, flashed across, never reaches Yaya. It's not dealt with just yet though. Inye. Gasso. Shaban. Even at 2-0, Boise has looked the likelier. Simply put, it's been a remarkable performance across the board for the hosts.
Well, you make a great point, and I mentioned this going into the break in terms of AC Boise just has not hurt themselves. I mean, in possession, you made the point of after the second goal, they've looked the more likely, and they have, just because of their composure on the ball, they have made terrific decisions.
Still looking for more as well. Kroll took one dribble too many. What is an important point you bring up? Because throughout the earlier portions of the season, Nate Miller had spoken about how they were probably hurting themselves too much. The advanced data suggests that they maybe should have 6 or 7 more points in USL League One play, but errors leading to goals, simple defensive breakdowns have cost them throughout the league campaign. Of course, last week there was a heavy emphasis in Westchester on being a more defense-minded team, and that yielded a clean sheet. Now tonight, against a Sacramento squad that, despite the fact they haven't produced, does boast firepower, they have remained stout since taking the early lead. Enya is fouled, and a free kick for Boise, which will be presented by St. Alphonsus.
You just have to like the impact that the subs have had for AC Boise. They have come in, and this group has not missed a beat as he understands his task, going 1v1 with Willie. Take that touch pass, but also take the run to that contact, earn a free kick, take your time, see precious time come off the clock.
Gasso and Kostishin over it. You know anything about Dennis Kostishin, you know that this isn't out of the question for him. Now, this would be quite the tight angle indeed. Kostishin goes for goal, just ropes it wide. He has the confidence to try from there.
You called it, my friend. But that's the other part of when we talked to Nate Miller about kind of the momentum and the performances that this team was starting to gain, is how important that he feels, that understanding that he's coaching human beings. They're humans first. But within the structure of how they want to play, express themselves, be themselves as players.
Arturo Rodriguez deflects off Dangler. Rolls out of play for another corner.
And that just allows you to get so much from the players. We talked about right coach, right place, right time, and kind of that evolution that allows when the coach wants you to express yourself and kind of play to your strengths. That's terrific.
Rodriguez with the outswinger now. It is headed goalward. Not enough on it there from Majago, though. Taken quick, perhaps too quick by Cleaver. Vonner. If they were to score here, they'd add some late intrigue for sure. Scoring once, let alone twice, has been a tall endeavor for Sacramento thus far. Casas. Looking for a Jago. Willie. This cross in, right at Cleaver. Moshe Bond. Charging forward for Boise. Looking to wrap it up. Yaya. Perhaps now they'll slow down the tempo.
Sacramento Public, and I hate to continue to just use the word frustrating, but I would just say frustrating in times of they're getting the numbers, they're getting the volume in and around the box, they're just not getting some of that final movement. I don't mean just movement off the ball. I mean, when you need to take additional touches to move a defender, or when it does need to be released quick, kind of some of those misfirings.
Vonner, the substitute. Chrysostomo. Casas, away by Dangler. Said that a time or two tonight. Arturo Rodriguez again. Cross in from Gurr. It's dangerous. Bonner got there first, but couldn't redirect it on frame. Well, fans, coming this Monday, July 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern, the Prinx Tires USL Cup Knockout Draw quarterfinals show. USL's Dan Lucas and broadcast analyst Devin Kerr will select the matchups from the 7 group winners and the wild card Monday at 1 p.m. live on the USL's YouTube channel. The question remains now, will Sacramento Republic be amongst the teams selected? As of now, the answer is almost assuredly not. They would need 2 goals in the final 2.5 minutes and change to have a realistic hope of winning the group. And given results elsewhere, the odds of them qualifying as a wild card are extremely low, if not impossible now.
Now that you've just gone through those scenarios, we all know how cruel this game of football can be, and sometimes things can happen at a rapid rate. So I think Nate Miller and his side are gonna feel really good when this final whistle blows with their performance. It'll only add to it if they can keep a clean sheet.
This isn't dealt with just yet. And finally back to Vidiello as Kostashin was lingering.
Wouldn't this be a storyline? I mean, Spokane Velocity takes care of what they needed to take care of against the USL Championship side, and then get the result here for AC Boise right now holding this 2-0 advantage. And then it'd be the only group where a League One side wins the group.
It would be remarkable. Last year, only one League One side progressed. It was Greenville Triumph. They reached the semifinals of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Spokane Velocity side, back-to-back runners-up in USL League One. As things stand, will win Group 1, despite falling 4-0 to Sacramento Republic on the opening day of the group. Casas. Bonner. It was spilled briefly by Cleaver, but he covers it up. That man has hardly put a hand or a foot wrong, Jonathan Cleaver. With the big stop to deny Edwards in the first half, as that line-breaking pass rolls to Vidiello.
With the possession numbers being where they are in this match, where Sacramento Republic has seen much of the ball, it just seems that AC Boise has been unbothered by that. I mean, they've been measured in their approach. They've been disciplined, as I've mentioned. They've never unbalanced themselves with over-shifting or over-committing to spaces.
Usually they're the side on the front foot. Tonight, it's the inverse and they benefit. Hit the 90-minute threshold. It's time for our stoppage time presented by Diamond Heating and Cooling, and it's 5 minutes. Chrysostomo. Sacramento with 5 minutes to salvage their Prinx Tires USL Cup hopes. Bends it goalward and bends it right at Cleaver. What a momentum builder this would be for Boise. Even if it doesn't result in them qualifying for the quarterfinals, it sets the tone for a huge fixture on Friday night against Portland Hearts of Pine before heading on the road to close July at New York Cosmos and at Greenville Triumph. Those are 3 fixtures that they'll feel are winnable, and if they can win all 3, right in the hunt for a top 4 spot and home playoff matches, they can continue the momentum. And Nate Miller has mentioned that was the primary point of emphasis entering the year. Skir's cross is headed away by Yarrow. Now falls for a Willie. Cleaver gets there. We spoke about how entering the year, the goal was to finish in the top 4 and as high in the top 4 as possible, because Boise, if they have to go on the road, that's a different surface they have to adapt to, and potentially they have to alter the way they approach the game stylistically. If they can play at home, they can play their game, and they can do so unapologetically. There's now a player down for Boise. It is Dominic Gasso, who's run his socks off for every minute. Kostashin He's getting set to exit for Boise in place of Blake Bodley, and that's a welcome return for someone who's been out for a couple matches now in Bodley. He's missed the last 5 games with a lower body injury. He is native of Eagle, Idaho, playing for his boyhood side. In addition to that, Joe Hansen is getting set to enter. And you wonder if that's for Dominic Gasso, who's being helped off. So welcome back to Blake Bodley, who's missed the last 5 games. Nate Miller said he would play him on the bench tonight. It was a question of how many minutes he'd be able to go. He is able to conclude things in place of Dennis Kostishin. Meanwhile, Joe Hansen also into the action. The Canadian will check in for Dominic Gasso. Both changes are presented by Athletic Brewing, all in, all game. And you hear that loud ovation for Bodley's return.
Coming out of the match, number 10, Dennis Kostishin.
Blake Bodley, even with the prolonged absence, still ranks top 5 in the league in chances created. His importance and impact cannot be harped on enough.
And I think that's going to be the next phase for this group. We've already seen them start to stack consistent performances, evolve as a team collectively. Now you're getting healthy, and now you're getting kind of your full allotment of availability. So what does that rotation begin to look like? What do those roles, how do those begin to define themselves? And to the point you were making, in this important stretch where you want to finish as high up the table as possible, because you want as many home games here in this stadium with this community, this fan base behind you.
Is there one final chance before the night is out? Smartly held up there by Bodley. Final minute now of the added 5. Moving away. One final chance now for Sacramento. Vonner. Willie. Is there late consolation on the cards now? Vonner cuts it across. It falls nicely and poked away at the last. Hansen the other direction. Overrun only just by Keegan Euler. We are beyond the added 5 now. Wolf knocks it wide. It's in, away by Krull. All at our referee's discretion now. Casas. There will be a loud eruption when the full-time whistle goes. Arcing ball to the back post. Jago doesn't get there. Pep Casas. Excellent link up here. And cleared away authoritatively by Dengler. He's earned those chances tonight. Arturo Rodriguez. Mayaka tracks him step for step. One final corner before the evening is done. In swinger, punched away by Cleaver. Gers cross. Away from Mayaka. Boise fans crave the full-time whistle. Casas. Rodriguez. His cross towards the heart of the area. And that just trickles wide. And the full-time whistle goes. It is a party in Boise. AC Boise remains unbeaten against championship opposition. And while tonight it won't end with them winning Group 1, it certainly feels like they did, given the reaction in Athletic Club Boise Soccer Stadium.
And you saw the reaction to that shot from Cleaver, how important it meant to them to pick up not only the win, but the clean sheet. A comprehensive and thorough performance from Nate Miller, the collective. They did it in both boxes. They suffered together, but they also thrived together in some of those bigger moments. Credit to them. That was a 90-minute performance that saw them with a 2-0 victory.
Goals from Nick Moon and Tumi Moshaban make the difference, and now it is time for our move of the game, presented by Restore Hyper Wellness. It is Moon's opener.
And this set the tone for what AC Boise wanted to do in both boxes. Albeit it's a goal, but still it set the tone for what they were able to commit to defensively as well. Nick Moon, terrific run from the midfield all the way into the final third, and then that's the most difficult part, tucks it up and over Danny Vitiello. Ends up being the opener and the game winner.
It was Moon's tally that made the initial difference, and Tumi Moshaban's second half dagger that wrapped up the points. And for the third time in as many matches, AC Boise gets a result against USL Championship opposition. At full time in the Prinx Tires USL Cup, it finishes with Boise as 2-0 victors. We will step aside briefly when we return and look back at a thrilling 90 minutes from the Gem State. Stick with us.
Hey buddy, why aren't we catching anything? I bet they're deeper down. Mom?
Unexpected plumbing issues? Diamond can help with prompt, reliable, high-quality service. Call the amazing team at Diamond Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. From leaky faucets and broken pipes to water heaters and softeners, Diamond's 5-star heroes can help. Diamond.
Your home's best friend.
If you need honest heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical service, call Diamond today. For over 25 years, Diamond's 5-star heroes have been serving Treasure Valley homeowners with quality and integrity. Diamond, your home's best friend.
You want more than care. You want a partner who hears you. Bring it. At St. Alphonsus, we listen to your story, your concerns, what makes you, you. We connect the dots, catch what matters early. Not just today, but for the long haul. Checkups are just the start. We're here for every chapter. So, bring it.
Welcome back to Boise. We're at the end of this Group 1 finale in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Athletic Club Boise pulls off a 2-0 victory over Sacramento Republic FC. Tonight's final score is presented by St. Alphonsus, and now it is time to get a look back at how everything unfolded here from Idaho with our full...
Danny Vitiello, as you see the numbers, Sacramento Republic has the possession, but just no goals to show for it.
It is now time for our full-time stats brought to you by St. Alphonsus. Yes, the numbers favor Sacramento, but as you were mentioning, if you watch the match, you understand why this is the case.
Yeah, and I would go back to what I said at the end too, is AC Boise navigated this match extremely well in terms of, you know that you're going to have to suffer in matches. They did that collectively. And then you also know that you're going to have spells in the match where you're going to thrive. And they did that collectively. 3 shots on target for AC Boise. 2 of those in the back of the net.
Organized, disciplined, and clinical from AC Boise as they round out their Prinx Tires USL Cup campaign on the highest of high notes. A second ever victory over USL Championship side, and they're unbeaten through 3 fixtures against Championship opposition. For our terrific broadcast crew and my partner Eric Dobransky, I'm Sam Goldfarb saying so long from Boise, Idaho, where AC Boise prevails in 2-0 fashion. They topple Sacramento Republic. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.